Hi, Heather. How are
Hey,
you?
Mike. Good, good. How are you?
I'm fine.
Good.
You're looking good.
Thank you. I'm liking your beard as well. This beard is like looking good.
Thanks. I have
Uh-huh.
you. I guess you and the audience have been watching it grow week by week.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I think it's starting to actually look like a beard as opposed to me just not shaving.
I think you just need to get past the I don't know, the beard hump. How do you say it? There's always like a problem area for the beard. You just have to get over that and you're good.
Well, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with it. I'm shaving my neck and I'm trying to keep it kind of straight, but I have never had a beard before. So this is I'm learning as I go.
Do you
And it still is itchy.
it's still itchy?
Yeah, if anyone in the audience has any suggestions, like when does it stop getting itchy? Is there anything I can do? I find if I like put water on my face, it helps a little bit.
I wonder if people put lotion
So
on their face with the
it
beards.
would feel so greasy.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I've never heard of that, but yeah, your hair is looking good. Looks longer.
Oh, thank you. I just don't have it up like I normally do. Thank you very much. I
Okay.
appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
So we're getting a lot of
So,
people in the chat saying hi.
hi
Everyone,
audience. Thanks for coming.
thank you. Much appreciated. Good to see everyone.
So, do you have any interesting stories this week? Have you ventured far from your home?
This week I spent the entire week writing the script and filming training videos for casinos on the COVID-19 policies and procedures. So I just finished that the other day. I gave my files to Nicole. Nicole's going to edit it, and then we're going to put that out there for casinos to start training dealers on the new policies and procedures.
So they'll all be following your rules, huh?
Well, not technically my rules. So what I did was I based it off of the WIN policies and procedures that they put out, the 28-page document. And then I
Mm-hmm.
also I talked to some casino managers around the world, some on the East Coast, some in Macau, in Australia, in one other place, and I put some of those policies and procedures as well to try to round it out.
Mm-hmm. So is there any going to be any way to safely play live poker?
So what they're doing with that is with the poker room, they're closing every other poker table, so every other poker
Mm-hmm.
table will be open, and then they're
Mm-hmm.
limiting the amount of seats at the poker table, so not as many people could sit there.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the casino, some casinos are going to have a divider on the table that separates the players as well as the players from
Mm-hmm.
the dealer. All
Mm-hmm.
players are supposed to wear masks. Dealers are supposed to wear masks, and the dealers are supposed to follow a sanitizing procedure when they get tapped off the game. So they have to wipe
Mm-hmm.
down anything that they used, buttons, tote box, anything like that, all gets wiped down. And they're also some casinos are going to be wiping down the chips as well.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't sound as much fun, but you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. Yep.
I
It,
still don't even own a mask.
you don't? What are you doing?
No. I must be honest that for a while masks weren't really being pushed very hard, so I didn't wear one at all.
Uh huh.
And but since now they're saying that you should wear a mask when you go out in public, I've been wearing a buff, but it's very uncomfortable because it's very tight.
What, a handkerchief?
No, it's a buff is it's like what they wear in Survivor. It's kind of like you can wear it as a headband or around your chest,
Oh, a scarf.
or around your neck. No, it's not a scarf.
Do you have it?
I would show it. I could run upstairs and get it for you,
Okay.
but um, but it's how can I? It's like a circular thing with stretchy fabric that you could put over lots of parts of your body.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I'd like to get a mask though, like in a Hawaiian print.
Oh, there you go. Well, if you have Hawaiian print fabric, I can make you one. I sewed my own masks, so
Oh, really?
yep.
Yeah, I don't have any spare Hawaiian fabric. Well, I could always get a shirt that I don't like.
Yeah, there you go. A Hawaiian shirt. That's what
Yeah.
that's what I used.
Okay, well, thanks for the offer.
No problem.
Maybe I'll mail you one after the show.
So we're doing an AMA today, right?
Yes.
Awesome. So for anyone
So
watching,
as usual, I have some questions from the Wizard of Vegas, but we
awesome.
welcome audience participation.
Yeah. So if you're
Do
in
we
the
have
audience
anyone that
watching, please.
Yes. Does anyone in the live audience have a burning question to start the show?
So we have one question to start the show. It seems, Joel says, it seems like roulette would be the toughest game to social distance. What's your thoughts?
Which game did he say?
Roulette.
Well, I think poker would be harder.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, normally there's up to 10 players at a table. I guess if you could cut it down to 5, it would be a lot safer. But so many people are used to the dynamics of a full table. Roulette, I could see them doing just the same thing by restricting the number of players. And
they're going to have a standing divider too. So a standing divider will be in between each player.
Yeah. And a good thing about roulette, though, is the only people who should be touching your chips are you and the dealer, because everyone gets their own color.
Yeah, but you know how dirty those chips are.
Well, you should know better than me, but I heard they're going to put the chips like in some sort of something that uses light to disinfect them.
Well, it depends on the casino, of course. So some casinos are going to have the dealer take all of the losing bets, and before they put it in the rack, they're going to have a little spray that disinfects the chips, and then they're going to wipe them down before they put it in the rack. Another casino is going to have like a little tub with a sponge with disinfectant in there, and they're going to wipe the chips on that before putting it in the rack. And then other casinos are going to have a dealer stationed at the table actually doing all of the cleaning procedures, so that other dealer could just focus on dealing.
My prediction is that if this doesn't end, that live dealer games are going to almost go the way of the dodo bird, and we're going to be seeing more interblock games and their competitors.
Well, speaking of
my prediction.
Speaking of which, Seneca says, what are your thoughts on stadium blackjack? Because if they are going to do that, they would probably do more stadiums.
Yeah, I could definitely see more stadium gaming. I know Interblock at the last gaming G2E had a lot of emphasis of that. So we'll see more stadium gaming and more just like one unit where there's, say, one roulette wheel and room for, I don't know, like 6 players. I know stadium gaming is huge in Macau. There will just be an enormous like auditorium practically full of people playing Baccarat. It's been slower to catch on here, but if the casinos say it's this or nothing, then people will have to get used to it. So yeah, I bet we will be seeing more of that too.
So we got one comment in here that I think is pretty funny. Someone thinks you should run for president. Wizard for president 2024.
At least I have one vote. Thanks for the compliment.
Not 2, not yourself. Hey, 3. I would vote for you. Got 3 votes.
Well, that's 3. Thanks, Heather.
Do you want to do one more question from the audience, or you want to do a form question?
Let's do a Wizard of Vegas question.
Okay.
Odious Gambit asks, I believe you have said that you started going to casinos when pretty young. Did you realize at some point you had bought into some things you heard from dealers or other players that were fallacies, or were you wise to all that at first? So good question. The first, many times I went to casinos, I didn't go like as the wizard. I went more as a recreational player. I'd like to think a smart one. I started with the basic strategy and then went up to card counting. So given that I was playing basic strategy right off the bat, you would think that I would have a healthy respect for the math as opposed to the many urban legends you see batted around Vegas. I do admit that I incorrectly thought that video poker was not a fairly dealt game, as in every card having the same chances. I thought that it was more like a slot machine where there was a little bit of shenanigans going on, but I was completely wrong. Video poker absolutely is fair the way it's played here in Nevada. But I've always been one who's been very slow to believe anything. So no, I would like to think I was pretty, skeptical from the first time I came to Vegas when I was 21.
Always a skeptic. Right.
Always a skeptic. That's right. Okay. Anything from the audience, from the peanut gallery?
We do. We have a lot of questions. I probably won't be able to get to all of the questions. Blade Runner, if you could do me a favor and ask your question again so we can understand it a little bit better, much appreciated. Next question would be from Mini Sticks. And he says, do you think the arm pads on the table will be cleaned? Just to answer him real quick. Yeah, they are going to be cleaned. The supervisor is going to clean the arm pads as well as the plastic divider after every player leaves. So once a player leaves, the supervisor will go and clean the arm rail as well as the dividers. The next question is,
okay.
Here's a fun one. With all the masks going around, what do you think, what is the before and after on the first casino that's going to be robbed?
That's a good one. I never thought of that.
You didn't think about that?
Yeah, isn't that a good question? No.
You want a better question? Or not a better, no offense. Another
that's
question?
a good question. I just don't have a good answer for it. As to an over-under, you would think the casinos would have thought of this, like maybe making people take their masks off if they do a cage transaction.
Well, here's the thing. So what I found from casino managers is everyone can wear a mask. There's not a problem. They're not worried about game security or table protection or anything. What they're going to have people do is when they go up to the table, they're going to have them lower their mask for a couple seconds so they could do age and ID verification. And then they'll put them back on. So that way both the dealer and the cameras can see the person's face before they sit down. And then if anything happens or they need anything, security can always go up to you and ask you to take your mask off for identification purposes. So it should be totally cool.
Okay. I did not know that. Thanks, Heather.
Do you want another question, one that you answer?
Okay. Let's see. If you have one ready, go ahead.
So Skill and Luck says, I've seen some of your Craps 101 videos on YouTube. May I ask why you don't answer the comments on YouTube?
That's a good question. I really should pay more attention to them. It's not that I have a policy against answering the questions, but yeah, thank you for taking me to task on that. I should do a better job of it. I noticed that a lot of the comments were about Angela, so I'm not going to comment on those.
Yeah,
so,
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I apologize. I really kind of I'm not that good. It's not just the Craps videos, but I need to go into YouTube and read the comments better. I don't know, just something I'm lazy about.
If it makes you feel any better, I have a hard time responding to my comments too. So. It's not all your fault.
Well, okay, so at least I'm not the only one with that problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for Heather.
Oh.
This is from Odious Gambit as well. The guy who you saw lose $1 million or more doing the Martingale, what fouled him up? Was it A, that he ran up against the house limit for bet size, or B, that he just ran out of money and couldn't double up his bet, or C, that he chickened out and wouldn't make that last huge bet?
He ran out of money. It was a long stretch. It was one of those that went on forever where he lost every single hand and he just ran out of money. He just finally couldn't, he didn't have any more money. He lost it all.
So did he come close to losing all his money before then? Like get down to his last bet, but win?
I don't know.
You said it took a long time.
It was a while ago, and I don't remember if they were saying he was winning or losing before that. I just remember everyone talking about it afterwards because of how much he lost and what kind of losing streak it was. It was such a long losing streak, and he lost so much money. Everyone was talking about it.
Speaking of betting systems, did you ever take French in high school, Heather?
No, I took Japanese.
Oh, okay. What's the difference between sayonara and matinee?
One is formal and one is casual. So one is like, I'm going to never see you again, which is sayonara. And then jana or matinee is basically informal, like, hey, I'll see you later.
Okay. Okay. I'm impressed. Do you keep up with your Japanese?
I know how do you say this in Japanese, and I know how do you say what time it is.
Surely you know where's the bathroom.
No, I don't. I know how do you say this in Japanese, or how do you say that in Japanese. I was really impressed that I remembered that.
Okay. Well, the reason I ask is I'm going to do a video about the Labouchère betting system, and I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right because some people say Labouchère and some people say Labouche, and yeah, but I think it's Labouchère.
Okay, well, if anyone's watching and you know the answer to this, let us know. Let us know how to pronounce it.
Yes, if anyone who has studied French a little bit, please chime in about it. Okay. I think it's the turn from the peanut gallery.
So this one's a fun one. What are your thoughts on the existence of aliens? So I guess something came out last week.
We got that last week. Yeah.
Oh, we did?
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, we got that last week. So watch last week's live stream. This one's going to be quick and we'll go to another one. Your free play site is down. Do you know what's going on?
Do you mean my free play games?
Or the website? Sometimes the websites are down.
I didn't know that. I will look into it after the show. But about the aliens, after just saying what a big skeptic I am, I'm not going to say I believe in aliens, but neither do I disbelieve it. I think I said last week that I think we might be descended from aliens, as in the scenario from the Alien movies, as explained in the movie Prometheus. Okay. They might be here among us. They may even look like us. Maybe they go around like doing good deeds. I just don't know. But if I were to believe in anything that I really don't have any proof for, as in a religious sense, it would be something along those lines. But I absolutely have no evidence. Could be wrong, but it's just something that kind of intrigues me as a possibility.
Okay, cool.
There you have it. I'm not totally without a little faith.
Do you want to do another comment from the viewers, or do you want to do one from the forum?
Okay, let's do the forum. Smoothgraph asks, you once said that you put an offer to buy a slot machine, but the deal fell through. To some, a pinball machine or slot machine in the home is more than just an amusement device. It's a piece of history and art. What are your personal pros and cons of owning a slot machine or video poker machine? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what incident you're referring to, but when I worked at the Venetian, they once like totally cleaned house with their slot machines and got new modern ones. And so they had this big room in down, they have all these levels below the casino, and they just had this enormous room just full of old slot machines that they were going to sell to casinos in South America. But they let the employees buy up to 2 of them. And so I wrote down my name and say, I want these 2. And they were nice games. One of them, God, I don't even remember what I picked, but then they told me, okay, we will let you know when you can pick them up. But then, shall we say, my job, I don't want to say I got fired, but my job disappeared and I never got my slot machines.
Mhm.
But I mean, it would be easy for me to buy one here in Vegas because you're allowed to own them for home use. But I guess my interest in it has decreased. I have a friend who has 2 video poker machines, but really old ones that I'm sure you would let go at a cheap price. But the older I get, the less, I don't know, material things I need to clutter up the house and weigh me down.
You like hiking?
Yeah, I think that I put more emphasis on experiences than material things as I get older.
Did you do anything this week as far as hiking or going out?
No, I'm going to do a good hike tomorrow.
Oh, there you go.
But yeah, just did the usual stuff since the last live stream. Riding my unicycle, rollerblading. Yeah, cool. Never got more than a few miles from home.
Very cool. Okay, so we got a question from a viewer.
Mm-hmm.
Would you consider providing your baccarat trainer a starting bank of our choice up to 100,000 like you do for your blackjack trainer?
I have nothing against that. Haven't really thought of it. To do that, I would need to bother the guy who made them, JB, and ask him to do it. And I don't know. I don't really want to fuss with it. He's usually not very enthusiastic to do projects that he doesn't find intellectually challenging, as I'm sure this would not be very interesting to him. So yeah, I don't see those changing.
Okay.
I'm afraid.
Forum?
Let's see. Oh, somebody's asking. I should have prepared for this. What is your fastest solve of the Rubik's Cube?
Oh.
Let me go show you my latest Rubik's Cube. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. Sounds good. Hold on. So while he is gone, we have another question that I can answer while he's gone. Where did you two meet? So we've answered this on previous live streams, so I figure I'll answer this real quick while he's gone. We met through a friend. So we have a mutual friend. And what happened was Mike was looking for a social media person to do a social media post and everything. And he asked his friend, hey, do you know anyone who, would do these social media posts? And I was referred. My name was brought up. So that's how we met. And I started doing Mike's social media how long ago? It's been a while since I started your social media.
Several years ago, right?
That was a long time ago. Really, really long time ago. So yeah, there's the answer to that question. Okay, let's see your Rubik's Cube.
Okay, so this is called a magnetic Rubik's Cube.
Oh.
It's really, really loose, but it has magnets in the corners so that it like stops when you pass a corner. You can kind of feel it clicking when you reach a corner. And I don't know if the camera will show this, but you can kind of see a little magnet. Do you see that little silver thing?
Oh, yeah.
That's the magnet.
Okay.
So this, I really love this. It turns so smoothly. But I know the question was, what's my fastest solve? So I went to high school from 1980 to 1983, and this was when the Rubik's Cube was, a pretty big fad. And this was before it was pretty easy to find out how to solve them. So I think I could confidently say that in my high school of 2,000 kids, I was the fastest. And it's not like we ever had a competition, but I knew all the other cubers and none of them could touch my speed. And if I tell you my average time in high school, it would probably be like 1:10, which I know today does not sound impressive, because today there are people that have an average time of like 20 seconds. And why are they so much faster? It's number one, the cubes are better, but number two, it's because there has been a lot more analysis of it, and they have memorized tons and tons of shortcuts. In particular, when you get to the last layer, there's only like 128 different ways it can be, and they know exactly the shortest way to solve all of them. And but whereas I still solve it kind of the old-fashioned way, shall we say?
Cool. Are you still solving them?
Yeah, I'll solve one right now if you want me to.
Yeah, sure. Let's have you solve one while we're answering these questions.
Okay, I'm mixing it up here, so just say stop anytime, and while I'm solving it, you can talk to the audience if you wish.
Okay.
But this should only. Okay.
Stop.
Okay. All right. So as per the rules, I get to look at it a little bit before I start moving it.
Okay. So while you're looking at it, let's see if we have another question we can do, and then you can answer these questions while you're solving it.
Okay. And I'm going to time myself. Note that I haven't started it.
Okay, so we are timing. So our next question is, on a full table playing Ultimate Texas Hold'em, how much advantage against the dealer would a player get if they could see the other player's hole cards?
I just answered that on my website.
Oh, yeah?
In a recent newsletter, but I'm still just mixing it up here. And yeah, I answered what would be the advantage in a whole host of games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, if you could see all the players' hole cards, which is a practical question right now because they might be dealing all these poker variants face up. So the players won't be need to touch the cards anymore. And I don't remember off the top of my head exactly what I said, but in Ultimate Texas Hold'em, it really doesn't matter very much. You can see all the players' cards and make perfect use of the information. And it only cuts down the house edge. I think like from 2% to 1.5%. It's not a big difference. Not enough for anyone to take the trouble to actually study the collusion strategy.
Do you know where people could find this article if they want to read it?
Yeah. Click on. It's on. Go to Wizard of Odds, and then the footer there's something that says newsletters, and then click newsletters, and then just click on the one. I don't remember exactly what I titled it, but something about playing poker variants after the coronavirus, something like that.
Okay.
Okay, let me get back to this. I'm still mixing. Okay, say stop again. Anytime.
Well, I can't see it.
Oh, sorry. Just to make sure. Whoops. Everything is backwards.
There we go. Stop.
Okay, say stop anytime. Okay.
Stop.
Did you say stop?
Yep.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. And you can keep talking if you wish, Heather.
Okay. So Joe Banda has a question that says, with only 6 people at a craps table, what positions do you feel are going to be the open spots? So with the way craps tables are going to be, they're going to have 3 people on one side, 3 people on the other. And that's going to be like the max. They're going to have standing dividers in between each person. And what they'll probably do is just split up the people and the dealers as much as possible. So that way you don't have, say, for example, a player standing right next to the stick man. And you don't have someone standing right next to the base man. So that way everyone has a little bit of space in between. And then the standing dividers will help the players figure out where they should stand and where they shouldn't stand. Also, too, when you're going into a casino, if you're walking by a craps table, a blackjack table, anything like that, you have to stand so far away from the other players. If you're standing right behind the other player watching the game, the dealer is going to ask you to keep walking or to move back 6 feet.
Yeah,
How you come in
answer.
Thanks. How you come in with the Rubik's Cube?
Almost done.
Okay, so let's look and see if there's any other questions that we can answer while you're doing that.
Done.
Yay! Woo!
So that looked like about 1:25, which is not very
1:25.
good. Not very good.
That's faster than what I could do.
So there you go.
My time on that is actually I've never finished one, so you beat me every single time.
And Heather, you know I can solve a Rubik's Cube on my unicycle.
I know. I took a video of you. We have that
Yes,
up on
you
your
did.
YouTube channel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I also took a YouTube video of you having quarters on your elbow and then being able to catch all of them.
Yes. That was
cool.
Yep, there at the Suncoast parking garage.
That was cool.
Yep, you're the videographer of a lot of my videos.
Yeah. I like being behind the camera, though. It's fun being behind the camera. I enjoy that. So we have another question, and this is from Blade Runner. Let me know if you know this. If there was a system that can overcome random chance games market by a good margin, what would you sell it for?
I wouldn't sell it.
Oh,
I
okay.
would just use it myself.
There you go. And that is why you should never believe anyone selling a strategy, because if it was a really, really good strategy, they'd be using it themselves and they wouldn't be selling it.
You're absolutely right.
So do you have a
Okay.
forum question?
Okay. This is a very broad one. What rights does a person have if detained by casino security? There's a whole book by what's his name, Bob Nersessian, on this topic. It's not just on this topic, but this has a lot to do with it. So you
What's the book
okay,
name?
I do happen to know a fair bit about this, but based in New York, is I think that casino security has so much time, and I think it's like 5 minutes that they either have to let you go or call the police. And during this 5 minutes, that's when they can conduct their investigation. Because there's a lot of there's a lot of cases where people have been detained where they did nothing illegal. So the purpose of detaining someone is like to make a citizen's arrest. And a citizen's arrest is for the purpose of holding someone who you caught committing a crime until the police get there. So I would say that is the purpose for a casino, detaining people in the back room. And a lot of casinos totally abuse this. They take people in the back room, keep them there a long time. And so if you do get detained, I think anywhere you have the right to remain silent. You know, you don't have to answer their questions. You can refuse your picture being taken. You can refuse them asking for ID, and they are going to ask you questions, and they're going to ask for your ID most likely. So you have the right to say no. Remember that. And sometimes they will bargain with you a little bit, like say, they might say, if you don't give us your ID, we're going to call the cops. But they might just be bluffing. A lot of casino security will threaten that, thinking it's going to work on the average person. But if you committed no crime, I would have no compunction to say, I committed no crime. Go ahead and call the cops. You have nothing on me, and I will have making a false arrest on you and false detainment. So yeah. And I'm not a lawyer, so this might not be absolutely 100% accurate, but if this topic interests you, get Beat the Players by Bob Nersessian. Highly recommended. Beat the Players. Beat the Players by Bob Nersessian. Let me show you the book.
Okay. Cool. So we're going to get a picture of the book. So thank you again very much for watching. Really do appreciate you having you guys on the live stream. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and if we can, we will get to them. Okay, so what is this book?
Okay, he wrote 2 of them. This is his first book, probably the most famous.
Oh, that book. Okay.
And here's his second one, The Law for Gamblers, A Legal Guide for the Casino Environment.
Can you put it just a little bit closer? There we go. Awesome. So you guys know what books to get.
So Bob Nersessian is like the undisputed expert of the rights of professional gamblers and advantage players. He also is a practicing attorney. If you're ever detained illegally by a casino, he would be the best lawyer on this topic you could possibly find.
Okay.
It doesn't mean he takes every single case, but he's really good.
Cool. Okay, cool. Now, in the chat, we had someone comment about what we were saying earlier, how to pronounce that word in French. So how you say it is Labouchère.
Okay, so with a hard R at the end. Labouchère, like as in share, as in the performer.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. So Labouchère.
Okay.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
So do you want to do a forum question or an audience question?
Okay, I think we have one more Wizard of Vegas question.
Okay.
How quickly will you and Heather re-enter the casinos once they reopen. Is there a fear factor? Well, I will probably go in and quickly, just to give me something to write about and talk to you about. And, everyone is asking me this. So yeah, I will be in there the day they open. I might go back to I might go and play more bingo, because as you know, in bingo, the way they play it here in Vegas is there is a fixed prize pool, and it doesn't matter how many cards they sell. So if there's not much competition, it could be a good advantage play. So I'm going to definitely look into that.
Okay, so you're having cabin fever.
I wouldn't say I have cabin fever, but yeah, I will be itchy to get out of here. It's not like I'm pulling my hair out of my head, but it'll be nice to do normal things again.
Cool. Right on.
How about you? I know your immune system is maybe not as strong as mine.
Yeah, so I got a list of autoimmune disorders. So I have to play it safe. So I'm staying inside and quarantined until we get a vaccine. So for the next year or two.
Oh my.
And that really
long time.
stinks. Yeah, especially since I have a lot of work that I do where I'm out and I'm going to casinos and I'm talking to people. So I'm going to have to start hiring people to do that for me.
Yep. Okay. Well, I hope they find that vaccine soon for you.
I hope so. So we got a question from the audience.
Mm-hmm.
Joey says, in Pai Gow Tiles, which way do you lay your tiles once set, as a high hand horizontal and a low hand vertical? Is that how you lay it?
The way I'm not even sure I remember. I just make the two piles and put them out there and let the dealer figure it out. But I know you're supposed to put them in a T shape, or one of them a little bit ahead of the other. But I'm embarrassed to say I don't even remember how you're supposed to do it.
Yeah, I don't remember either, so I could be wrong in saying this. But I think the tiles that are straight up are the high hand, and the tiles that are sideways are the low hand. I think, but I could be wrong. Okay, so next question. Would you continue to collaborate with Steve Bourie?
Steve Bourie. Absolutely. I have nothing against the idea. I really like Steve, and before the coronavirus hit, we were talking about making more videos, and shall we say we were still negotiating, and then this happened, and we dropped the topic, but we might work together again. We'll see.
Okay. So you said you have no more forum questions?
That's it.
Okay, so we have another Pai Gow Tiles one. Playing Pai Gow Tiles, do you recommend betting big?
I recommend betting, however, whatever will make it fun for you, but not betting money that you can't afford to lose. Like when I play, I bet pretty small. If I'm playing, I'm probably just doing it for fun with my friends, and I just try to enjoy the experience. I might bet a little more than the minimum so it's not like don't care at all. But I'm definitely big on betting in moderation, so I don't advocate betting big.
Okay, sounds cool. Next question is, how will dice and chips be sanitized? So I think we were talking about this a little earlier. The stickman is going to sanitize the 5 dice after every shooter. So once it's a new shooter, they're going to bring in all 5 dice and sanitize all 5 dice at once. And then the chips are going to be sanitized at the end. All of the losing bets before they're placed back in the rack, they're all going to be sanitized before they go in the rack.
Hi, Pip.
She always has to be near me, and she doesn't care one lick for me unless I'm doing a live stream, and then she's either barking or she has to be in the middle of it. I think she wants to be a star. So our next question is, I think I have an idea for a new blackjack variant. How do I get it patent? I'm willing to collaborate with anyone who has serious math skills. Now, you actually do math for table game inventors. That's one of your services you provide people, right?
I certainly have done that lots of times. I'm not as enthusiastic to do it anymore. I tend to, I like doing it for big companies or people that are already high level in the gaming business that understand it's a professional service and don't want to pay me $100 to analyze a complicated game and write a report about it. And
So, how much would you charge then if you were going to do it? Because I know it takes a lot of work. You put a lot of time and a lot of effort and dedication into doing that, and your work is amazing. So,
thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, I would charge about $5,000, which is more than my competitors. So if price is an issue, you should go to one of them. And what can I say? I could talk about this topic all day long. If you go to Wizard of Odds, search on Game Inventors Corner, and there will be a whole ton of advice on how to get your game from inside of your mind onto the casino floor. And to summarize, it's really, really, really hard. It's expensive, and your chances are not very good. And like 39 times out of 40, I would look at a game and I would say, turn around and run for your life. This is never going to make it.
Yep. And even that one time out of 40, that game still has a hard time getting into a casino.
Yep. But while we're at it, Heather helps with the service, not in a mathematical sense, but more in a marketing and
Yep.
So Heather can make videos and
table layouts.
Try to get and try to pitch your game to the casinos and basically a saleswoman, right?
Yep. Yeah. So we do the consulting, we do the marketing, we bring their game from idea to fruition. We actually do the physical part of it. So the inventors do the idea part, then they come to me, and our artists and our team put it together and actually make it into a reality. So yeah, we do. Go ahead.
Sorry to interrupt you. No, I just saw your video. I just ran into it on Grand Slam Baseball.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
Well, I liked it. You did a really good job. And I just posted my video from the show on that game, and that's how I stumbled upon yours.
Awesome. Now,
so Heather will make you a really. Go ahead. Heather can really like a good video to sum up the gist of the game and and why casinos should take it.
Thank you. I really do appreciate that. And on that note, so you're releasing all of the videos from Cutting Edge right now, right?
Yeah, we finally are getting around to it, and we're trying to release one a week, and I believe this is our 6th one.
Yay, it's so fun watching those videos come out. I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
You do a good job with those.
Yeah, thanks. I really like the one we did on Dice Ball.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, and Vinny is a lot of fun.
Yes.
He plays to the camera well.
Yeah, he's a natural.
Weren't there 3 baseball games at the show last year?
Oh God, I've seen so many baseball and football games. There's so many.
Yeah.
I've seen so many games. So our next question is not that question. We just did that question. I watch a lot of Vegas cheating documentaries. Do you know or have you met George Joseph?
Yeah, didn't he give that talk at the show? Was he the one?
I don't know. Was that him? I'm not sure. I remember the talk. I don't remember the name.
Somehow I don't think it was him. Now it's bothering me.
Now you're going to have to look.
Like the big talk of the show was a cheating expert who gave demonstrations how it was done. And
that was, wasn't that Marcus? Richard Marcus, or was it Max Rubin?
Richard Marcus is, no, it definitely wasn't Munchkin. Richard Marcus, no, it wasn't him.
I have the, oh well. I'd have to look it up too.
But we're getting off topic. What was the question?
You're right.
No, I personally don't know George Joseph. That's the answer there.
Okay,
I do know Dustin Marks, though. He wrote a book on casino cheating.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Next question is, when do you think Vegas and casinos will return back to normal?
Yeah, don't we get asked this every week?
Pretty much. We get asked a lot of questions over and over again, though.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, it depends how you define normal. But if we define, let's say, I think that casinos will start reopening probably late June, early July. That's my prediction. Could be wrong. But it may be that things are not back to normal for, I don't know, until they either find a vaccine or we've all already had the coronavirus and have antibodies to it. So yeah, it could be years.
Also, too, I want to add to that. It's 4:00 Pacific Standard Time right now. At 5:00 in 1 hour, our governor is going to give another meeting or another speech, and he's going to talk about when Las Vegas is going to open. I know we're going to do it in phases, and I believe the casinos being reopened is in the last phase.
Mm-hmm.
And all of that depends on numbers.
So he's going to give an update at 5 or 5:30?
5 p.m.
Okay,
and
I will watch that.
Yeah, all of our local news channels should have it, so you should be able to see it on any of those.
Okay.
Cool.
Thanks for reminding me. So it's 3:45 right now. So we've got about 10 more minutes.
Yep, we got one more question. So if you guys have any more questions, speak now or forever hold your peace. Before we get to that question, a comment from Scar. Richard Marcus created the Savannah move. He wrote the book American Roulette, so that's who Richard Marcus is. My brain.
Oh, he also wrote a book on poker cheating, I believe.
Oh, he did? Oh, cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So our next question is there a reason there being a mix of shoe and CSM dealt black? Okay. Continuous shuffle machine. Okay. Is there a reason to mix the shoe or shuffle the shoe or to use the continuous shuffle machine when dealing blackjack? Wouldn't the stingy thing to do is deal all blackjack with the continuous shuffle machine? So what's your opinion on the continuous shuffle machine?
They make more money for the casino. The casinos like them because they get out more hands per hour.
Well, not too much.
But then
I mean, it's a little bit, but it's not too much because
that's true.
The dealers get tired. It's like when they're shuffling, it's sort of like a miniature break. So if they're not shuffling, they're getting tired, and then the hands per hour don't go up that much.
Yeah, I believe you're correct. However, the way casinos look at things is if they can see a way to get just one more hand per hour out of a game, they will multiply that by the number of tables and the number of days in a year and see a lot of money. So they will do that. But then you might say, well, how come they're not all CSM? It's because some players just like a hand shuffle game, and they like Baccarat players trying to get the feel of a shoe. And if they suddenly went to all continuous shuffler machines, there would be some old-fashioned players that will just say, I will only play a cut card game. And so that's why there are still some of them left, especially in the high limit rooms. So most changes don't happen overnight. They take a little while for people to accept them, kind of like 6-5 blackjack and 000 roulette.
Yep. Okay, ready for another question?
I'm ready.
How is the Raiders Stadium coming along? Have either of you seen it?
I've only seen it from the outside, and you see it on the news, but it looks to me like it's from the exterior. It looks done to me.
Yeah, the exterior looks done. I don't know if they're done with the interior. I agree with you on that, but I think everything's done on the exterior as well.
Yeah, well, hopefully we have the football season.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, can you imagine building that whole stadium and then the coronavirus happens and nobody wants to go to a stadium? Oh my God.
What can you do?
Yeah. Well, that's the last question we have from the viewers. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we end the live stream?
Well, let's see. One thing I've been working on is One of the hardest checkmates to effect in chess is if you have a bishop and a knight and your opponent just has the king. And it's really tricky to do because you only get 50 moves to do it. And with either a bishop or a knight, it's easy to like slip past the defense. So you have to use a pretty careful technique to force the enemy king to the edge and then force him into the same color corner as your own bishop. And it's been on my bucket list to understand how to affect this checkmate for a long time. So I have been working on that, and I have a preliminary video on that, which you can find through Wizard of Vegas. So that's been something I've challenged myself with. What else could I say? I'm hoping, this summer I'm hoping to do a mountain climbing trip in Colorado hopefully when things get back to normal. But yeah, my life has been kind of boring, to be honest with you. Have you taken up any new hobbies, Heather?
New hobbies. Whenever I paint, I always paint with acrylics. So now I'm learning how to paint with watercolors, and I'm really enjoying watercolors.
Can we see anything you've done recently?
No, I don't have anything I could grab here at the moment. I'm learning how to use it, which means a lot of those go in the trash can afterwards.
Well, save something for me. Remember, it's my birthday coming up.
Deal. We got a couple more questions if you're up for it.
Okay.
So I gamble on sports for a living here in Vegas. Is there anything decent to bet on in lieu of the major sports not being played? I've seen Russian table tennis and a few other obscure things. What are your thoughts?
I have absolutely no advice there. I know that they were playing baseball in Taiwan, but the season just ended there. But a friend of mine, who's a professional sports bettor as a sideline, and he read up about professional baseball in Taiwan, and he made really good comments about it when he would give me his betting suggestions. So I think that what you're going to have to do is pick any sport that you actually can bet on. And the way I would analyze it is try to get any data that you can on it and just crunch that data. But if you're not so much of a numbers person like me, if you're already a sports bettor, you must have some kind of angles knowing when something is a good bet. So do whatever you got to do to analyze something new.
Sounds good.
Yep, they just opened up. I think they just started playing either baseball or basketball in South Korea. So
okay.
Yeah, there are sports being played.
Cool.
Okay, shall we take a final question?
Final question. Can we do 2 more questions?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so this question is for me, and then we'll do the question for you, so that way we can end it on your question. So this is for Heather. If there is no vaccine, you won't be able to take videos at Star Trek Las Vegas this year, assuming, of course, that's going to happen. Is that the case? So yeah, going to Star Trek Las Vegas, I might not do it. If they're even open, the Star Trek Las Vegas might, cancel, hopefully. But if they're open and they're still around, I'm not going. I'm not taking videos. I'm not going to be around people. We're not doing that. Okay, your question. Mike's question.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, I don't want to. It's not worth the risk,
Yeah, I know. You're making the right decision, but I know how much you love that show.
Yeah, it's just you always get con cred. Scar says there seems to be a lot of games that have side bets, such as blackjack, craps, baccarat. I know they make money for the casino, but how do you guys feel about it as a player or as a dealer?
Well, my advice for players is to avoid all the side bets. Don't bet on them. It's one of my 10 commandments of gambling. Thou shalt not make side bets. However, the casinos generally like them. I think they're not as profitable as some of them may think. Like a salesman can come up to here and show his math and say, this side bet has a 10, 15, 20% house advantage. it's gonna make all this money. But what they don't say is it also slows down the game, and the game's going to get fewer hands per hour, and that big advantage is going to be on a small bet. So but then again, I know some players like them, and maybe they wouldn't play if it wasn't there. But I think that they're definitely not good for players, and I don't think they're that great for the casinos either. But if you are actually thinking of marketing a side bet, I think that's probably a better way to go than marketing a whole game, because it's easy to just plop a side bet on a game, but it's asking a lot for a casino to put in a completely fresh game.
Yeah. And did you know too that there are some casinos that do count the side bets as hands? So they counted for the hands per hour. So the dealers increase their hands per hour, not decrease.
Mm-hmm. They can count it however they want, but
more you know.
Yeah.
So we are going to see you again next week, right, at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to do this again. Now,
absolutely.
If people have questions, should they just wait until the next live stream and then ask the question, or is there somewhere where they could put their question so we have it before the live stream?
If you want us to have the question before the live stream, go to Wizard of Vegas and then go to forums and then look for the forum that's just titled live stream or Wizards live stream, something like that, and post your question there. And you can also talk about anything that was said on a previous show. And so
awesome.
That is the best way to submit your questions in advance.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much. Really do appreciate it.
Well, thanks, Heather, for being my co-host again and doing all the technical stuff. And thanks, audience. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
So stay safe, wash your hands, don't sneeze on people, and just go buy stuff only when it's necessary and all that safety stuff.
And peace out.
Peace out.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye.
Bye.